Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really looking forward to it. We've got people zooming in from all over the world. It's 3 o'clock in the morning for it's Sheila who's in the Philippines she's going to talk to you in a minute, and we've got Sue who's sitting in her car during a lunch break. So some eager fans to chat.
Yeah, very dedicated,
Oh,
getting up so early.
I know. People have been so excited. So we're gonna we've got an hour, so we're gonna just get straight into it because there's heaps of us on here, and I want to just get through as many questions as we can. So Sue, I'm going to come to you first, who's on her lunch break in the car. So Sue, what's your question?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. That's really great that you're doing this.
I'm very happy to be here. It's so cool to get to connect with everyone like this.
My question is, were you offered the character of Lizzy, or did you have to try out for it? And what do you like best about playing Lizzy?
I did have to audition for it. I did the initial audition, and it's with a casting director in Vancouver that I've known for years, and she's always been like a champion of my work. And I did the audition, didn't hear anything. And then I think like 2 weeks later, she brought me back in to read with Grayson, who plays Ricky. And at first in my head, I thought, I feel like I look too old. So I just went in there, and I think because I took the pressure off myself, I just went in and we had a really fun time. And then I left, and the next day they called me and offered me the part. And I think I was on set within that week. It happened very, very quickly. But I love playing Lizzy because I don't know. I love all aspects of her. She's gone through quite a journey already, but I loved coming in with that confidence, kind of like this tornado coming into town and being so different than everyone else on the show and ruffling some feathers. I definitely don't have the same confidence and brashness as Lizzy, so it was fun to step into her shoes and have no filter.
Well, thank you, and I hope to see you in many more seasons.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Cool. Thanks, Sue. Enjoy your lunch, Sue. So next we are going to Illinois, and we've got a question from Diane. Diane.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. This is always so much fun to talk to the actors that we love on Virgin River. My question is, a lot of actors say they don't like to watch themselves on a TV show or a movie. Do you watch yourself, and do you watch as a fan or with a more critical eye to see what you've done really well or what you could have done differently?
I feel like I've gotten better at watching myself and being less critical. When I first started acting, I really didn't like watching myself. I found I was way too critical. Like, why did you say the line like that? Why did you make that sort of face? But I find now I like watching. I like seeing how it's all been put together and what takes they used, and seeing it all with the music added in and how that changes the emotion you feel when you watch it. I really enjoy watching Virgin River and seeing how it's all been put together. But I find I like watching it once, and then that's enough for me.
Well, you do an amazing job. We love you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Diane. So we are going to the UK, and we've got a question from Marissa. Marissa, what's your question?
Hi, Sarah, and thanks very much for joining us. I just have a question about Lizzie's story. So she seems to be very keen on Danny, but I think she's still in love with Ricky. So I wanted to know, since you know her very well, whether it is genuine, or is she only trying to fill her loneliness because she has had such a difficult family history, and
Yeah.
is she really keen on Danny, or?
I don't know. I feel like maybe at first when she met Denny, maybe she was looking for a distraction because she's still very heartbroken over Ricky at that point. So I think maybe she saw this as an opportunity to distract herself, to have a little bit of fun. And I think throughout the season, I think it kind of snuck up on her, the fact that she genuinely was liking Denny and was having these feelings that she didn't expect to have. I think that's what happens when you find that sort of attraction when you least expect it. I don't think that her love for Ricky is gone completely. I think that she still has a special place in her heart for him, and I don't think that'll go away. But I don't think she's just using Denny as a person to fill this void. I think when she first arrived in Virgin River, I think she was a bit more keen on any sort of distraction, whether that was Ricky or drinking or anything to be rebellious. I think she's settled down a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Makes sense. Thank you.
Awesome. So Sarah, we've got a question. Celine from France, she was hoping to join, but she's working at the moment. So her question is, what has been your most significant role in your career and why?
Honestly, probably this one.
Yeah.
I've been working consistently since I was 15. So it's been 12 years in the business. But this is the first role that I've been like recognized for on the street. And this is the first role that like all of my parents' friends are watching the show and talking to them about how much they love it, or saying that they see me and my mom and all of that.
Wow.
And I think it's the first role that I've had that's reached so many people. It has such a global appeal.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. I didn't really think that I would be on a show with such a wide reach, and I feel really fortunate to have people that love the show from all over the world. It's really wild and like humbling to get to do what I love and be on a show like this.
Yeah. And it's just, so you've got different ages who watch it as well, which is, so it caters for like something for everyone. I've got, my colleagues at work who are quite a bit older than me, who are grandparents, and they love the show. And then, you've got people who are in their 20s who love the show as well. So it's awesome. It's a fantastic show. And there are some ladies on here who legitimately have watched some episodes like 20 times. They're that much of a fan. So, yeah.
Well, we so appreciate it because that means that we get to keep doing it.
Yeah. And some of the ladies, so Marissa, who you were just talking to, there were a group of ladies who are currently on here who actually visited Vancouver a couple of months ago and, went round and had a look at Jack's Bar and different, which is very cool. Very cool.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, there's so many beautiful locations we shoot at.
Yeah.
I feel so lucky to get to be like a tourist in my own town and go to all these beautiful spots.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's my son's iPad, which was just ringing through. I thought I'd disconnected that, but that's okay. Okay, so now we've got a question from Jared. So Jared is in California. Jared, what's your question?
Good afternoon. This is Jared. I wanted to ask greatest strength and weakness as an actress, if you could be so like bold,
Oh, that's hard. I don't know, maybe my greatest strength is I feel like I can access my emotions pretty like fluidly. I feel like that's not too much of an issue for me. So I find that it helps in this business because you do take after take after take. And so maybe you'll be doing a scene for 3 hours and you have to kind of be able to hit that same thing over and over again. So that would probably be a strength. Maybe, I don't know, a weakness might be that I can get in my head sometimes and be worried about how it looks versus just being in it and being in the moment. I find that I can usually get myself out of that headspace, but sometimes on a given day, if you're maybe just not feeling as grounded, not feeling as in it, you get very like outside of yourself. and you're like, I wonder how this looks. Like, that felt weird. Did that look weird? And then you can really spiral into your own head. So I feel like I have tools now that I can talk myself out of that, but it's hard. You're like, I'm on camera. The camera is close to my face. Did I say that line weird? Like, yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. We are going to France, and we've got a question from Wendy. Wendy, what's your question?
Hello. Hi. I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. I was in a meeting. Anyway, my question is, you're so close to 30 and you're playing a teenager on the show. How do you do it?
I feel like in this business, it's pretty typical to play a little bit younger than your age. I mean, when I was cast on the show to play 19, I was 24, I think. And yeah, I feel like it also depends on like how old the other actors are around you, whether you can kind of sell how young you are. I do feel with Lizzy's evolution so far, it hasn't felt weird to still be playing her at 27, because I feel like she's no longer dealing with that kind of like angsty, more like high school teen problems. So I find I can still tap into her and feel genuine with what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm like trying to play a teenager.
Now, I was actually referring to your youthfulness. How do you do it?
Oh, how do I do it? I don't know. I feel like a lot of that is probably thanks to my genes. Yeah. I feel like my mom looks great, and so does my dad. So thank you to them. I also try to stay out of the sun. I wear a lot of sunscreen. I don't really go sit on the beach in the summer. And yeah, I try to eat healthy and be active, but dark chocolate will always be a part of my life, no matter what.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, if you love chocolate, you'll have to try some chocolate from New Zealand. New Zealand has got, our chocolate. It's I could eat chocolate for breakfast. Actually, I do eat chocolate for breakfast. Yeah, that's my weak spot.
I could too.
Yeah. So now we've got Kaylin, who's actually in Vancouver as well. So Kaylin, what's your question? Oh, hold on. Wait, unmute yourself, Kaylin.
Oh, my bad.
You got it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said, hi, nice to meet you. I was like, we actually have a lot of mutual friends. I think we both train with the same person. Are you training with Deb? Yeah, Deb's my coach. Small world. I just thought I'd jump on and just kind of like pick your brain on how you're finding sort of like booking new roles, and just, how the whole world is of acting. It's kind of like up and down, and how you're navigating that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I feel pretty fortunate right now because I have consistent work, which is not something that's very typical in this business. I feel like for so long, it is very up and down. You maybe work for 3 weeks straight and then you don't know when you're going to work again. And I found that once I like separated my like self-worth from whether I was working or not, I became a lot happier of a person. I feel like in the beginning of my career, I guess took the rejection a lot more personal. But the longer I've been in it, the more I've realized there's like a million other factors, and I can only be as prepared as I can be and be 100% there on my side. And then there's all these other factors, whether it's look or like a million other things that are out of your control. So I find that the more that I just focus on the work and train, I mean, I feel like training really saved me because it always gave me something to hold on to and something to work on. I always felt like I was moving towards my goal, whether I was working or not.
Before you booked the role, were you like finding yourself sort of going out for more like independent stuff just to like make sure you kept like developing the craft and like connecting with casting directors in a certain way?
Yeah, still auditioning a lot right up until booking it. And yeah, developing those relationships is so important because Tiffany Mack, who cast the show, I had auditioned for her for years and years and had never booked with her. And had always gotten really close to parts that I really wanted. And then it just wouldn't happen. And so it felt so special to be able to have this important booking with her.
Yeah, and she's so sweet. The one thing I find now, it's like different because I feel like with the Zoom environment, it's hard to make those personal connections. Now, like, do you find you're still doing a lot of those Zoom auditions and like how you would go about connecting as well as you can when you're not in person?
Yeah, it's like a totally different beast now because you don't get to go in and say hi and have that personal connection. So your work really has to speak for itself. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't done too many of the Zoom callbacks and stuff. It feels weird though. It feels disconnected, but the more you do it, the more it kind of feels normal if it can.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. So Sarah, now we are actually going to go to Kerry, and Kerry was one of those ladies I was mentioning who they all took a trip together from all over the world to come visit Vancouver. So Kerry's also just had surgery, so she's a bit sore.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Kerry, what's your question?
Right. Hey, Sarah, thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy day or your leisurely day, however your day is going, to chat with us. And I actually had a question that was more about you and some of your personal time. I read that you learned to fly a plane. And so I was just wondering, do you have your private pilot's license and do you still get to fly?
Oh, that's such a good question. I never actually finished it. I got so close to the end and then acting started happening and I started working more. So my focus shifted, but I loved it. It was so cool. I can say that I've flown a Cessna 172, which is like a 2-seater plane by myself up in the sky, which is a feeling that there's like nothing like it. You're up there, it's so peaceful, and then you remember, I have to fly this plane because I'm only relying on myself. So there's a lot of trust that's involved, but my dad flies, and he flew me, like all growing up, he flew, and he would fly us from Abbotsford to Qualicum to visit my grandpa. So I've been in small planes a lot, and so it was a passion of his, and he offered the opportunity to me to get my license, and I would love to go back and finish it one day. I did really enjoy it.
Yeah, so well, you got to do your solo, so
I did. That's
a big plus. But yeah, I think it's from my husband flies some, so I think it's something you can definitely go back to. And it's like riding a bicycle. That's what he said. It just comes right back to you. So,
oh, good.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kerry. Sarah, what's on your bucket list?
Oh, probably traveling. Yeah. My boyfriend and I are trying to plan a trip right now because we haven't really been on one in a very long time. And now that COVID has kind of died down, we feel comfortable to travel. And yeah, the last big trip I went on was to Thailand in 2019. And that was like the biggest trip I've been on. I would love to travel more. Growing up, I've traveled to England. A lot of my extended family is there. I've traveled to Holland, where my Beppa, my mom's mom, was born, and I just really want to see more of the world.
Have you got some top countries that you'd like to visit?
I would love to go to Bali. I would also love to go to like Greece and Italy and see the beautiful places and eat all the food. Yeah. Mostly the food. I really just want to eat all the pasta.
Yeah. You'll have to. Yeah. I had to say it to everyone. You'll have to come visit us in New Zealand. We've got something for everyone. if you're a adrenaline junkie, or if you just want to chill out and relax. And so if you're ever down
and eat chocolate.
Eat chocolate, yeah. Exactly. Yes, you'll have to come down and see us.
Yeah.
So now we have got we're going to England, and Mel is on call, but she's with us, so hopefully Mel, she's coming back. So Mel, what's your question?
Hi Sarah, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi.
My question for you is, Lizzy's changed quite a lot as a person since she arrived in Virgin River. Which side of you do you enjoy playing the most? Like the more mature, caring side, or the slightly more rebellious and a little bit more difficult in the nicest possible way?
That's hard, because it is so fun to play the rebellious, the maybe not so nice and filtered. It is so fun to play that, because it's very much not who I am and not how I go through my life. So it's fun to tap into all that and kind of be the disruptive one. But I do love that she's had this evolution, and because she is a more caring and empathetic person and can see outside of her own needs now, I feel like that's opened up a lot of opportunity to have relationships with other people on the show and get to, develop those relationships, especially with like the women in like the sewing circle, like those kind of women. And so I feel like maybe that's why I like where she's landed now, because it opens up a lot more room for these genuine connections. There isn't that like wall up anymore that's stopping her from having those.
Yeah. Have to say, I love the playlist she did for Doc. That was just beautiful.
That was my favorite scene to shoot. I mean, Tim Matheson is just such an incredible actor and also such a kind man. And just getting to do that scene with him and like be in his presence as an actor was very special.
Yeah, cool. Great. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.
So we have got a question. Oh goodness, I'm multitasking because I'm looking at I'm looking at questions from YouTube as well. So I think Jeanette has asked the question, how do you feel about your character's transformation, which you've kind of just answered there. So Jeanette, if you've got another question, make sure you flick it through. And then we have got a question from Instagram, so I'm just flicking between screens. And this is from Laura, who runs the Virgin River series fan account, who was instrumental in putting this interview together. So thank you, Laura. She has asked, how has your role on Virgin River changed your life?
It's given me a stability in my life that you don't often have as an actor. I feel like it's given me stability. It's given me an opportunity to stick with a character for a bunch of seasons. Usually you're only with the character for a couple weeks or maybe even only a couple days, and getting to grow with her and like learn with her over these years that I've played her is something that you don't often get. And getting to work with all of these people and absorb whatever I can from them and their talent and their experience and their life lessons has just been so invaluable. And I feel so lucky to be a part of something that feels so special. I feel like making it, we all feel like it is special, but the fact that that's translated to everybody else is, I think, pretty rare.
Yeah.
And
I must admit, so like we've been lucky enough to interview the majority of the cast from Virgin River. So These ladies, I feel like it's every Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We just get together, and now we're just one big. Like, I've never met them before in my life, but they're now part of my little family. It is amazing. And like I say, so there is a group of ladies, and you'll get to talk to one of them who's from New Zealand, who made the trip all the way to visit Vancouver, and so all these friendships have been formed just because of this show. It's pretty special. Yeah. So Sarah, now we are actually going to go to the Philippines, where I think it's like 2:30 in the morning. So Sheila, what's your question?
Thanks, Miss V. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Okay, my question is, what's the best, or probably what's your favorite scene apart from what you have mentioned earlier in season 4?
Oh, that's hard. I did love the gardening scene with Hope, being in her backyard, pretending like I knew anything about gardening. Yeah, I think any of those scenes that I got to work with Annette, because she wasn't really there in season 3. So having her back in season 4 and having her presence back on the show was really cool. But yeah, I love the gardening scene. So working on the plants, and then also when my Aunt Connie came and we had that heartfelt moment there. Nicola, who plays my Aunt Connie, she's such a wonderful actress and has done so much theater throughout the years and is such a name in theater. And just working with her is really cool too. She's also very funny.
Yeah, you can see it on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also love that scene with you and Hope. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for staying up and being here.
Yeah, I always do this.
Cool. Thank you, Sheila. So now we are going to Italy, and we've got a question from Elena.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Do you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I do.
Sorry. Yes.
Perfect.
Sorry.
I know you can say anything about season 5. Your hands are tied, and it's perfectly understandable. But we know you are a month away from wrapping season 5. And I was wondering, without giving much away, if you can describe with a couple of words what we can expect from season 5.
It's such a good season. I think it's the best one so far, and you guys will love it. I would say in a couple words, it's heartwarming, it's thrilling, and it's shocking.
Oh, gosh.
There are some, So it'll be a really great season. It's been very exciting to shoot, so I can't wait for you guys to be in on the revelations.
It's such a tease. That is such a tease. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Elena. We do actually have Mariska on here, but she's in the Netherlands, and she said that they've had a whole lot of rain, and now her internet connection is a bit shoddy, so not working that well. So I'm just going to ask her question for her, even though she is on here, but she just said, the internet connection's not so great. So Mariska has said, what are your dreams for the future? Or has asked, sorry, what are your dreams for the future?
I would say I hope that I can keep acting like forever. It's my passion. It's what I love to do. It makes me so happy, and I feel so lucky to get to do it. So I would love to keep doing it forever. I would love to eventually write my own stuff and be more involved in the whole process, not just coming in when a script is already ready to go. I would love to write stuff for myself. I know so many wonderful actors in Vancouver. It would be easy to write something and have amazing people in it. I guess that's like my work dream, but yeah, I would love to travel. Like I've said, my boyfriend and I have a cute cat named Ollie, and we'd love to eventually get a dog and have that. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I feel like my dreams are happening. So
Yay. That's fantastic. Yeah. Is there someone who, have you got particular actors who you would love to work with in the future? Just putting you on the spot.
Oh, there's so many good ones. I would love to work with Olivia Colman is one that I would love to work with. I feel like I got introduced to her work on Broadchurch.
Yes.
And ever since then, I've just followed her work and have been so impressed. So I'd love to work with her. Also Julianne Moore. Yeah. She's always been one that I just want to act opposite her and be around her. Pretty much anyone from Big Little Lies, any of those women. Yes. Yeah, they're all so brilliant on that show. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. So now we're going to stay in New Zealand where I am. And so Avril was one of the ladies who made the massive trip to Vancouver, all the way the other side of the world. So Avril, what is your question? And make sure you unmute yourself, Avril.
I've done it. I've unmuted, seriously. Hi, Sarah. Lovely to meet you. I'm sorry we didn't get to meet in person when I was in Vancouver. I had the most fabulous holiday.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, beautiful city, beautiful people, and crazy mad fun. Like, just was brilliant with a good bunch. What I would like to ask is, you touched on gardening with hope. Well, my question was actually, in the real world, how would you genuinely feel about gardening and looking after hope, as was sort of dropped in the fairly late part of season 4? Would that be something you'd be interested in, or that?
I don't know if I should be trusted with a garden. I have some plants now.
I wondered.
I have some plants now in my apartment that are surviving. This one is still alive, but I have killed a cactus, and I hear that is hard to do. So, but I've gotten better. I wouldn't say I have a green thumb, but I'm trying my best.
I did love that rapport you developed between yourself and it, and also the one with Tim. It was just, I loved that development of you and the character. It was just lovely. I was thrilled.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for developing like that, because I must admit I could have whacked your face a few times at the beginning.
That's good though. It means that you had a strong reaction to me, and that means that I did my job.
Exactly. Excellent acting to get that response. Just one more little tail on, as I've knitted socks for most of the cast of Virgin River, because I was so impressed with how wonderful the ones we met are and all the work they put in with filming. Did you get your pair?
No.
Oh, Avril, you're going to have to chase that up, Avril.
I've tried. Virgin River series told me that everybody got their socks.
Oh.
So I delivered them to the studio, and I've just had a letter saying the studio will be closing soon. If I was sending anything, to make it quick, because it'll be too late. But this was all sent or given. I dropped a lot off while I was in Vancouver. And you challenged Martin Henderson, because he's got a whole heap of dark chocolate from New Zealand. Yeah, so you check it out and get some from him, because if he's got any left.
Oh, dear, I'll have to bug him for that.
Please do. I did actually get to meet him, which was very special. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. I've kind of given up. I don't know where all these socks have gone. So
they've got to some people, though, haven't they, Avril? They have got to some people.
Yeah, I had about 3 responses, which at least was heartening. But the numbers of people I've asked who haven't got them, so I just wonder where they are. Anyway, that's beside the by. It's lovely to meet you, and I look forward to season 5 and all your tantalising, unkind ways of having to get us to hang on there and wait. Lovely to meet you.
Cool.
Great to meet you.
Thank you, April. Oh, April. So now we have got a question from Matthew. So Matthew, what's your question?
Well, I think I had the same question that Carrie had about the private pilot's license and flying, which you answered, so thank you. But I will make a comment that I have 3 teenage daughters. Well, one's not a teenager. One is 27, one's 19, one's 15. And so we all watch. And so I get to see, and we get to see in Lizzy's character arc, I get to see my daughters in different stages. And it's been really amazing. And they've kind of gotten to see some of themselves in that. So I just wanted to thank you for the amazing portrayal you're doing of Lizzy. It's just been a great bonding experience for me and my daughter. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so cool to hear that you watch it as a family and that you're seeing your daughters in the evolution of Lizzy. I think that's so cool. It's not often that you can find a show that really like brings your family together. So thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Matthew. I'm glad we didn't scare you off, but you've got 3 daughters, so no, you'll be fine. So now, Sarah, we're going to go to Diana. So Diana, I see that you managed to sneak in. How are you, Diana?
I am doing well. I'm sorry. I'm at my office and in between working and campaigning, I was able to hop on. So I'm sorry to multitask, Lizzy, but I wanted to see you. I'm hooked on your show and I relax at night watching the episodes over and over. I binge watch.
So cool.
Out.
Have you got a question, Diana, or are you just quite happy sitting listening?
Well, I'm happy to say hello and jump on, and I wanted to also piggyback on what everybody else said. I think it is so awesome to see when you first joined, you were like this teenager troublemaker type of thing, and we all going to love you. But I think it really warmed our hearts when Doc was in the hospital waiting for Hope and you brought the music and that was so sweet, and you're helping Hope in the garden and stuff. And it seems like you really blossomed and matured in between seasons.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're all loving Lizzy and loving what's happening with her and sticking with her.
We're loving
even
more.
though she
We
was
can't
a
wait till
little.
season 5.
Oh, good.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Diana. So
Thank you.
Sarah, we're actually, Elizabeth has just finished work. She was on bus duty. Elizabeth, we did hear some of your kiddies in the background, but I see that they've all gone now.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take them to the bus, but yes, they're all gone now and ready to start the weekend. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for doing this and giving us fans the opportunity to speak with you. We're very excited for season 5. I just wanted to say congratulations on 50 episodes. Yes. That's amazing. For not only a show, but for a Netflix show, and us fans are hoping for 50 more. So thank you for that. My question for you is, what has been your favorite moment / memory of filming, but also like give us a favorite moment from behind the scenes? It looks like from your Instagram posts and other casts from Instagram that you guys just have like such a fun time on set and that it's such a pleasure to work on this set. So I was just wondering what your favorite moment has been.
Oh, there's so many good ones, but it was so fun in season 3 to go up Grouse Mountain and shoot all of the lumberjack games. We had to all go up on a gondola, and then it was a little cold up there, but it was so cool. It was like we were in this other world, and they set it all up so beautifully. And yeah, that was really cool. Any of like the big events have been really fun. The Renaissance Fair last season was one of my favorites. Getting to dress up. I mean, you don't often get that on a show. Dress up like a princess, do a little bit of Shakespeare. That was probably one of my favorite moments from last year. And then off screen, I would say, I think getting to know Terrell, who plays Muriel, has been one of my favorite parts. We get together for coffee and for walks, and she's just so amazing. We just clicked right away. It's not like our characters have much interaction, but right away I was like, I like this woman. She is so funny and so down to earth and just speaks her mind and is such an animal lover, and that already ticks all the boxes for me. So yeah, I think developing a friendship with Terrell has been one of my favorite off-screen things.
Cool.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. And enjoy your weekend, Elizabeth, after spending a week with kids. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, this week it's been good. They're starting to get the routines and everything down. So it was good this week.
Nice. So now we're going to stick in Vancouver, and we have got a question from Joanne. So Joanne, what's your question?
Hi there, Sarah. I've seen you many times in person.
Oh, really?
I go to the sets a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Do you have a celebrity crush? And if so, who?
Oh, this is a goodie.
Ooh, that's hard. I don't know. Because being in the business, I feel like the kind of crushes I have are more like talent crushes, like people that I admire and that their work gets me excited. And honestly, most of those are women, because it's kind of like the work that I would want to do, or the kind of stuff I'd aspire to be, like a writer, producer, and all of that. So I would say a couple of my like talent crushes would be Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who created that show Fleabag. She wrote the play and then turned it into this series and then starred in the series. And now she's writing on huge movies. And I think that that's just so inspiring. And watching her acting is also very inspiring. She just has a very unique way about herself. There's nothing cookie cutter about it. Another person would be Olivia Colman, who I mentioned before. She's also someone I have a talent crush on. Maybe this woman, Brit Marling. I saw this movie years ago that she did called Another Earth. And it was one of the first movies that she wrote and starred in. And she writes a lot of her own work. And she also created that show, The OA, which I think was a Netflix show. But just seeing that that's possible and seeing that that's a route that you can go, I feel like those women, whenever I see them creating work or seeing whatever they have coming up, it really excites me. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. So we are going to go back to the UK with Suzanne. Suzanne, what's your question?
Hi, Sarah. It's really lovely to meet you and be able to talk to you today. My question is, in season 4 of Virgin River, we saw Ricky leave to join the Marines. How do you think, if you were you instead of Lizzy, if that makes sense, how do you think Lizzy would cope? It would cope in season 5 without Ricky being there?
I think it would be hard having this person that she's known since she got to Virgin River, this person that was her first like friend and her first like connection to the town that she made while she was there. It would be hard having that person not there anymore. And even in season 4, even though they maybe weren't together romantically, I feel like they were still there for each other in a supportive, like friend kind of way. And so it would be hard to have that person not there anymore, that person that you'd maybe rely on for advice or just to like chat with and know that you're maybe not going to be judged. So it would be, I feel like she'd have like a little hole in her heart that he's not there, and hope that he's doing well and maybe growing up a bit, because I think he's lived quite a sheltered life in Virgin River and has never really been anywhere else. So yeah, I think it would be hard, but I think that Lizzy will continue to grow and learn about herself and what she wants, and what her passions are and all of that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And thank you, because again, Virgin River's an amazing show, and you're just, you're amazing. So I can't wait to see what happens in season 5.
Cool. We're all hanging out for season 5, and it's a long way away. But that's okay. Everyone's binge watching repeatedly. So yeah. I've just got a question again from Laura, so from Virgin River series fan, the Instagram. She's just asked, what more would you like to see with Lizzy's character sort of development, or what do you hope for Lizzy?
I would hope to know more about her family outside of Virgin River, because I feel like that's informed a lot of who she is and why she was the way she was when she showed up, and some of her coping mechanisms and stuff. I would love to learn about her parents and learn about what that relationship was like. She brings it up a little bit, but I would like to know more about that. And I would love to know what her plans are for the future, because she's at a point where she's kind of just figuring everything out. She's 19. I don't think she has to have everything figured out right at that moment.
No. Yeah.
But I think she has a lot of opportunities to figure out what she wants to do. And I just hope that maybe by trial and error, she finds something that she's really passionate about.
Cool. Thank you. So now we have got a question from Carol. So Carol, what's your question? Oh, you still with us, Carol? Oh, I think you're just unmuting. Hold on, I'll see if I can unmute. Just a minute. Have you got it, Carol? Oh, there you go, Carol.
Yes, I think most of my questions have been answered. But where is home for you, Lizzy?
Home is in Vancouver. I grew up an hour outside of the city, but I've lived in Vancouver for 5 years now. So I feel really lucky to not have to relocate for work. I mean, my friends are here, my family's here, and it's a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Carol.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we are almost coming up on our hour, and we've managed to get through all the questions on here. Has anyone else got any other questions that they'd like to ask Sarah? Just flick the hand. Otherwise, I have got some questions that have come through that I can go. Okay, Diane, we'll come back to you.
I was just wondering, Sarah, if you had not become an actress, what would you have done as a profession?
I don't know, maybe a lawyer. That would be cool. I did, in high school, I took a law class and was really interested in it. I did know in high school that acting was my passion and it's what I wanted to pursue. So I kind of had my blinders on, but if for some reason I couldn't act, I feel like law would be something I'd be interested in, because it is very intellectual, but then you have to go and present your case. And so there is a performative aspect to it. So I think it's something that I would have enjoyed. Maybe I'll play a lawyer one day.
Yes. Very cool. Have you got any projects that you're working on, or anything that's coming up that you can share? Or
honestly, Virgin River is keeping me busy.
Yes.
So they kind of have a hold on me. It's just that.
No, that's awesome. Have we got any other questions before we will let Sarah go? Yes, we've got Sheila. Sheila, what's your other question?
My favorite question to ask is, if you can have a superpower,
maybe teleportation, because my brother lives in Toronto and I would love to be able to just teleport and go visit him. Yeah. Him and his husband and their cat live out there. And we talk on the phone all the time, but I would love to be able to just pop over there or teleport them back over here. Or it would also help with traveling the world. I wouldn't have to go on long flights.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, did you have another question?
Yeah, I did. So my other question for you is, if you weren't playing Lizzy, what other character would you want to play and why?
I have thought about this. I would love to play Connie. I feel like I love her dynamic with Preacher. She has such a passion and a protectiveness to her, but I also love the gossipy, kind of sassy Connie. Those are my favorite moments. I feel like there's so much to play with Connie, and because I've always been on the other side of that dynamic, it would be so fun just to jump over and play the other side.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Sarah, we're just coming up on our hour, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for chatting today. This has been awesome, and we really can't wait for the new season. It's going to be a long wait, and then people just binge it in a day like myself, and then you have to wait again. But
it'll be worth it. It'll be great.
So thank you so much. Thank you to everyone else who's joined in on the Zoom and those who are watching live. And Sarah, I hope we can chat again when season 5 comes out.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you so much for everyone for taking the time and chatting with me. It's been so fun.
Oh, awesome. All right, Sarah, enjoy the rest of your well-deserved break today. And take care.
Thank you.
Bye. See you later.
Bye. Chocolate.
Yeah, don't forget the chocolate.
I won't.
See ya. Bye.